What is your worst you're on speakerphone story? I had to call my boss for help with a machine that would not cooperate. We are talking as I'm tightening a bolt on my slips. I split my knuckle open and called the machine every 4-letter word. I finally stop and he says, I should have told you that you are on speaker with my family in the car. I could hear his wife laughing, but could only imagine his daughter's reaction. 13-year-old me. Mom, I think I just got my period again, but it's bad. There's blood everywhere and there's chunks and I don't know what to do. Oh, I think I'm dying. Please come home. I think I'm ready to try tampons now. Her whole office heard. I was mortified. I was on a conference Zoom video call with customers and my kids were upstairs being rather loud. I hit mute, ripped my headphones off, and yelled, "Kid, shut up, daddy is on a call, you're making too much noise, be quiet right now, also help me." Satisfied, I turned back to my laptop to see, in horror, a black screen where my visit should have been, and 4 to 5 customers, red-faced with laughter, some with tears in their eyes. I'd hit the turn off camera button instead. I used to work security at a casino. I showed up to a shift one night to be told that my crazy gig of riding around the car parks making sure there aren't any babies/pets locked in cars was cancelled, and I'd be hauling ass on the main gaming floor all night. I was annoyed, and after the briefing I went to the staff cafe to get a coffee and change. Down there, I plopped down onto a couch and started bitching to one of my co-workers about my boss, the job, specific colleagues. I was extremely insubordinate and critical of my own team, but it was okay. This was a private conversation. Or so I thought, until the floor supervisor finds me and tells me I'm sitting on my radio's PTT button. Every security officer, not to mention every surveillance operator, all up, some 140 individuals on shift had just been treated to 10 minutes of me blocking comms with my behind. I wish I could have died right there. I still had 11.5 hours left on my shift. I'm a medic. We had a patient pinned behind a tractor and was found the next morning. He was still alive, but not doing well. I knew he was going to die as soon as we moved the tractor, but I called the emergency department physician for any advice. This was on a radio, so no expectation of privacy or anything. "Doctor, we're here with a 45-year-old male, pinned behind a tractor for the last 10 to 12 hours. Massive trauma noted. Patient is conscious but very weak. Vitals are. We have 2 IOs going and have administered 2 liters of fluid and sodium bicarbonate. We have family here as well. Do you have any orders or request further information?" Just spelling it out. The goddamn doctor responds, "Oh, he's fucking dead. Yeah, he's going to be. We are going through the motions. And you just made it so much worse to comfort the family." I had it on speakerphone while I was driving once, and I had to, fart. And it wasn't one of those dainty poots, but a 6-man re-inhut earthshitter. Apparently the phone really wanted to pick that noise up in particular. That's when my boyfriend cut the conversation off and said, "Did you just fart? We're married now." Michael, David Wallace. What is this about dismissing the ad people? David. Yeah, I'm glad you called. Ryan is being a little bitch again. I'm on. Michael. Ryan. What's up, my brother? Friend of mine, who is a girl, and I are driving in my car to another friend's house. I call one of my best friends to see what he's up to and let him know that me and, let's call her Tabitha, are going out for the night. He responds with, "Oh no way, dude, that's awesome. She has cans." My heart stopped and she just looks at me. I go, "Bro, she's in the car with me and you're on speakerphone." Tabitha says, "Hey, I." He then says, "Yeah, I'm not going out anymore." Not me, but a VP I worked for. Bluetooth headsets had just come out for the BlackBerry phone. VP got one to be cool. At VP, I asked for one, but they were limited to upper management. VP gets on a call with other VPs, CIO and CTO. He's in Vancouver. They are in San Francisco in a conference room with mix and speakers in the ceiling. VP needs to pee really badly, so he mutes the headset and goes to the John. People in San Francisco suddenly stop talking as their eyes turn up towards the ceiling. Someone asks why. Does it sound like it's raining all of a sudden? VP storms past my desk and throws the headset at me. "It's yours now." Early Jabra headsets had a bug that would randomly unmute without warning. And that's how I got my first company paid Bluetooth headset. Back in high school I was with my friend and our girls basketball team coach. Definitely was not the best team and the coach was a wonderful person, but not a great coach. We had practice that day and she was telling us how she couldn't make it but someone else from the boys senior team would step in for the day if enough of us wanted to still have it. My coach asked me to call around and see if people still wanted to come. I call my friend, MVP, and put her on speaker. Not sure why, I guess so the coach could hear her answer as soon as possible, and told her the situation. She said yay, we might as well still have the practice. Coach isn't really that good and doesn't help us at all. We basically coach ourselves anyway. I think I was able to turn off the speaker before the last few words, but the damage was already done. Coach looked a bit upset initially but then said wait, what did she say? I couldn't hear her. But the phone was right in between us. I just said that she said she would enjoy having it and then ran outside the classroom to tell her that she was on speakerphone. This was 6 years ago and I haven't really used speakerphone since. Called my friend in front of coach and friend said coach wasn't good anyway. Me and a coworker were on a conference call. Basically the entire multinational ed team discussing some project coming up with some corporate bigwigs. So we are told what we need to do and one of the guys from Holland, I'll call him John, goes off on one complaining about the workload. He goes on for a solid 20 minutes complaining and just talking in circles, but the thing was, this project wasn't optional. We had to do it no matter what. Everyone was in the same boat and he actually had one of the lightest workloads having the fewest users to support. After his tirade is over, the focus switches to the UK team and we are told what we need to do. We basically just say okay, understood. I mute the phone, turn to my coworker and say, you see how much effing easier it is to just agree to something instead of wasting everyone's time behind. It's not like we've got a effing choice. Just get the F on with it. Is it just me, or is every conference call like 10 minutes of useful info, followed by 45 minutes of John behind? Then my coworker chimes in yeah, all he does is effing whine, apostrophe I'm John, I've got to do some effing work for once. It's less than everyone else, but I'm going to whine about it for effing us. Every time. Guy's a twat. I've seen how many tickets he does a week. What he calls a busy week, I call an average Monday morning. But it's the way he'll keep whining about something that we can't change. Doesn't matter that it affects everyone. Doesn't matter that we've no choice but to suck it up and get on with it. He just talks in circles. Yeah, and why moan about it? It's not like the company's going to say okay, we'll cancel a multi-million-pound project because effing John wants to spin in his chair all day. Then, we notice the call has gone completely silent. I look at the phone and see the mute button isn't lit up. I shit my pants and, for some reason, mute the phone like it will erase the last minute of conversation. There's dead air for what felt like an eternity. Then we hear, UK, did you say something? Me and my coworker just stare at each other in horror. The company CEO is on the call, so at the main head of it. At that moment, the UK head, whose office is just down the hall, boots the door open, barges into the room making cutthroat motions and mouthing you're not on mute. You're not on mute. We just stare back in horror and say we know. Then the call goes air. Okay, let's carry on. At that point we see that the UK head is actually trying not to laugh and we figure we can't be in that deep Then the call goes on like nothing happened. John, uncharacteristically, stayed silent. We didn't get in the shrit. No one complained and our boss wasn't pissed at us because we were basically saying this is our job, we have to do it, so there's no point being, and John never complained, probably because he knew we were right. Now, we laugh about it, but when we realized the phone wasn't muted and the call went silent, we nearly soiled ourselves. This is an old chestnut. Here's a short rundown. I was attending a high-level brief with some military officers. I was younger and had no role in the brief, except to maybe answer one possible question. The commander, 06 USMC colonel, asks a question but no one has the direct answer, so a young captain, USMC, calls the appropriate person who is a major, USMC. The major was irritated, I guess, and speaking harshly to the captain. The captain reiterated to the major that he was on speakerphone with the commander, but he was being repeatedly cut off. The major starts talking all this shit about this and that and is basically taking a dump on every Gov. GS-14/15 in the meeting. Then he tells the captain to put the commander on the phone. Sir, this is for the Thursday morning meeting. Call very _angry now is present and you are on speakerphone. Oh. Major in _trouble now. This is Cole boiling with _age. Yeah, after this call I'm gonna need to talk to you one-on-one. Stand by for that.